Hi, this is Ms. Poon. As you can see, I am not here. I'm going to take a moment to review the digital agenda and the expectations and outcomes for today's lesson. After you complete this video, you need to take the Check for Understanding, which is linked under Check for Understanding or Section 2 of the digital agenda. It's a red Google form that looks like this. Alright, so again, after you finish this video, that's the first thing you will do. The next thing you will do will be to move into Independent Station A, and this is for period 2. If you are in honors, you will not do this section at all. So for Independent A, you're going to watch the 3 Khan Academy videos, which are linked below under A, B, and C. And you're going to take notes on your handout. The notes on your handout is a single sheet of paper that starts with simple and compound sentences. Make sure you write your name on this handout as you're going to turn it into the sub before you leave today. The handout just contains blanks and a couple of short exercises, which is in a different font, so it's easy to see what you need to do for the exercises. So just listen to the video and fill it out as you listen. I recommend watching the video, taking the notes, and then practicing the exercises that are underneath that video, and then watching the second video, taking the notes, and then practicing the exercises underneath that video, and so forth. So for what's being graded in this section, you need to complete this exercise, and this exercise. So you can see that they all say reach 100 points because this should be review for most of you. If the IXL exercises are too difficult and you're having trouble reaching 100 points, I suggest that you then go back and do the exercises that are labeled extra practice. This will help you practice before you move on to the ones that were being graded so that it will be easier for you to reach the goal of 100 points. After you complete these exercises, you can then move on to Independent Station B, which is under Section 6. So for Independent Station B, you're going to watch the documentary The Dream Is Now. You need to make sure you have headphones to do this, as you should not listen to it on speakers. You should not start watching the video until you have finished Independent Station A. The substitute teacher will pass the handout out for this portion of the lesson, but on your handout you can see that you have vocabulary to help you understand terms that are in the documentary, and it says here that you need to answer at least 4 out of these first 7 questions. So there are 15 total questions for the video. However, you only have to answer 10 of the 15 questions. So once again, that's 10 of the 15 questions. This allows you to skip some in case you don't understand a couple of them. So again, you need to pause the video at the times that are listed on the handout to make sure that you can answer the questions in that section, otherwise it gets too difficult. There are sentence starters. Please use them. Delete the brackets, of course, in your own sentence starter, and make sure if you see slashes that you pick a word. So again, there are 3 sections to the video. There's one that starts from the beginning to 12 minutes and 41 seconds, and there's another one that goes from 12 minutes and 41 seconds to 22 minutes and 54 seconds. This section says answer at least 2 of the questions, and then the last section goes from 22 minutes and 54 seconds to the end. So you need to make sure that you're answering the video's questions as you're watching the video. Do not wait until the end, or you will forget by the time you answer the questions. The last thing that you need to do today is to submit the Google form, which is a summative grade. And when you submit the Google form, you need to make sure that you're careful to choose the correct class period, otherwise you're going to go to a page that doesn't make any sense. So for the closure, you need to make sure you answer all of the questions and fill it out to the best of your ability. Because it is a summative grade, it's a test grade. So this will be an easy way to raise your grade if your grade is low, as long as you complete it and try your best. And for the last things, if you are finished early with all of these tasks, there are several things that you can do on the digital agenda. And your homework this weekend is to read your AR book for at least 40 minutes a day. Remember that 50% of your goal is due by Friday, March 17th. Don't forget to go to take the check for understanding on the digital agenda to make sure that you understood today's directions. This section of the video is for honors only. So if you're in honors, your outcomes for today are quite different than period 2. Make sure that you do not forget. After you take this video, you need to make sure that you go and take the check for understanding to ensure that you understood the directions for today. The check for understanding is a red Google form. It looks like this. Make sure you select period 6 because your check for understanding is different than period 2. The first thing you will do today is you will be in collaborative for 30 minutes. You need to complete your slides, and your facilitator needs to turn the slides in by the end of collaborative station. We'll be presenting in our next class. The next thing that you need to do is definitely not this section. This is not the section that you need to do. This is for period 2 only. You are going to be working on your independent project, which is underneath section 5. So you are going to be working on the exposition section of your narrative analysis log. If you are already done with the entire exposition section of your narrative analysis log, you should still use this time to work on your independent project. This means that you can read your book, or you can read your book and work ahead on the rising action and climax section of your narrative analysis log. I did also include a link here that asks if you completed and turned in your independent project background research. I checked on Google Classroom and some of you have not turned in this project, leading me to believe that it is not finished and that I should not grade it yet. After you finish working on the exposition section of your narrative analysis log, you need to detach the first page. So do not detach any of the other pages, just the first page with the exposition section. This means that you're going to give your sub your reading schedule. Don't worry, I will give it back to you the next time I see you. Make sure today that you have your name written on the first page, otherwise I won't be able to grade it. If you finish with the narrative analysis log and you are bored, you may do either of these activities. So you can either watch the documentary, The Dream Is Now, and you can ask the sub for a handout that you can answer questions over, or you can do any of these finished early activities, or you can just continue working on your independent project. At the end of class today, you need to submit the Google form to receive a summative grade for your mastery of today's objective. Remember, you need to make sure that on the closure you select period 6, because if you click period 2, you will be very, very confused. Your homework this weekend is to read your independent project book and start the rising action / climax portion of your log. Remember that this section of your log is due next Friday, which is March the 3rd. Thank you so much and have a great day.